Good afternoon. My name is Brennan Lucas. It is an honor for me to welcome our distinguished guests to this year's Veterans Day program. First off, I would like to thank Mr. Harold for coordinating the event, the administration for allowing this to be possible, and of course our veterans for taking the time to attend. It is imperative that all veterans be remembered for their duty they surrendered to our country. It is my wish that every citizen in the United States experience the privilege of addressing the very men and women whom, through their dedication and selflessness, fought to preserve our exceptional way of life. It is vital that these heroes of this nation know our respect, gratitude, and loyalty. Today, we intend to make known the sacrifice and bravery of our men and women at arms. One of America's most weathered and colorful generals, George Patton, said it best with, "Wars may be fought with weapons, but they are won by men." It is upon us today to recognize each branch of our armed forces and remember their service to our country. We will also commemorate the men and women who still to this day continue to guarantee our liberty from their duty as well. I would like to express my appreciation to all who have served, and on behalf of the class of 2011, I would again like to welcome you to this year's program. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Lindsay Kilburn, and I'm going to share with you some brief history about the national anthem. In 1814, Francis Scott Key, a 35-year-old lawyer and amateur poet, wrote a poem about the invasion of the Chesapeake Bay by the British Army. He recalled the vision he had of the United States flag waving audaciously above the bay in victory, and inspired him to write a poem. The poem was titled "Defense of Fort McHenry." When put to music years later, it became known as the American Patriotic Song. In 1889, the United States Navy recognized the song for official use within its ranks. By the year of 1916, President Woodrow Wilson acknowledged the importance of the song to American heritage. On March 3, 1931, by congressional resolution, the song was officially declared to be our national anthem. Although the song has 4 stanzas, only the first is commonly sung today. The last stanza, which says, "Oh, there be it ever when free man shall stand," is sung at official occasions. At this time, please rise as Senior Danelle Spicer will sing our national anthem, accompanied by the Austin High School Band, directed by Jason Hoagland.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb's bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Josie McQueen, and here with me is Jenna Kelly. Before we lead you through the Pledge of Allegiance, we will first give you a brief history of the meaning behind these words.
Francis Bellamy published the original 23 words of the Pledge of Allegiance on September 1892. Bellamy declared, "Let the flag float over every schoolhouse in the land, and the exercise will be impressed upon our youth the patriotic duty of citizenship." Since Bellamy's 23 original words, it has been altered 3 times. The first time, the flag of the United States was replaced with "My Flag." Then, in 1924, "Of America" was added. Last, "Under God" was attached on Flag Day in June of 1954. This final change was approved by Dwight D. Eisenhower. He felt it was reaffirming the religious faith of the future. Today we have controversy over the words "under God" in our pledge.
The Pledge of Allegiance has meaning to every word that is spoken. I pledge allegiance
I promise to be true,
to the flag
the symbol of our country,
of the United States of America,
all states together as one,
and to the republic
a group of officials for the people by the people.
for which it stands,
The flag means the country,
one nation,
a single country.
under God,
The people believe in the higher authority.
indivisible,
The country cannot be split into 2 parts,
with liberty and justice
with freedom and fairness
for all.
for each person in the country, you and me.
When saying the Pledge of Allegiance, stand at attention, face the flag with your right hand over your heart. If not in uniform, remove hats with right hand, hold it at left shoulder with your hand placed over your heart. Persons in uniform should remain silent, face the flag, and render the military salute. We say the Pledge of Allegiance often, but we sometimes forget its true meaning. Let this be a reminder to all of us that the Pledge of Allegiance is more than just words that are to be recited and memorized when told to do so. It's a promise to be loyal and true to our country and flag.
Now please stand, place your right hand over your heart, and face the flag while joining us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now you may be seated. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jordan Tucker, and I'm a senior member of the Austin High School Choir. In honor of all the veterans, we will be performing a song entitled Light. Light is a song of inspiration, hope, and the ability that man has to fight through hardships. We, the Austin High School Choir, believe that this song is fitting of the occasion because it represents some of the emotions and qualities that veterans have shown in their service. That being said, we hope that you enjoy our performance.
We need some light. First of all, we need some light. You can't sit here in the dark and all alone. It's a sorry sight. It's just you and me. We'll live, you'll see.
For all that's wrong, to be made And when the night has finally gone, and when we see the new day dawn, we'll wonder how we wandered for so long, so blind. The wasted world we thought we knew, the light will make it look brand new. So dawn, there will be light. There will be light. When we open up our lives, sons and daughters, husbands, wives, divide and fight. There will be light. There will be
Good afternoon. I'm Lindsay Davidson. On Veterans Day, we remember the men and women who have fought and served for our country, and most importantly, our freedom. Veterans Day, also known as Armistice Day, marks the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. On Armistice Day, the Germans signed the armistice to end World War I. Armistice Day was first established in 1919 but wasn't made an official holiday until 1938. At the end of the war, President Woodrow Wilson stated, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations." Armistice Day was changed to Veterans Day in June of 1954 when President Eisenhower signed the United States Congressional Act. This day was dedicated to the cause of world peace. Veterans Day is the day we honor and remember the men and women who have fought, and on a day on which we renew our commitment to peace. Journalist Elmer Davis once said, "This nation will remain the land of the free so long as it is the home of the brave." Therefore, we shall always remember the millions of Americans who have been and continue to fight various causes and crusades to keep our freedom. We should not ever let these men and women be forgotten, for they are the ones who have given us the opportunity to be free. They gave us freedom to dream and capture the dreams that we have so long dreamt about. On behalf of Austin High School, the class of 2011, and the staff, we would like to personally thank each and every one of you for the freedom you have given us and the duty you have accomplished for us. God bless you and thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to our Veterans Day program. My name is Zach Halcomb, and I'm here to introduce the United States Army. The United States Army is the oldest and largest military service in the U.S. In the beginning, the Army was called the Continental Army because it was established by the Continental Congress on June 14, 1775. The Army is the primary ground force of the United States, and its main function is to protect our country. I'm proud of our soldiers, and I'm proud to be a part of this amazing country. I will now announce the names of the veterans that are here today. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing until all names have been, remain standing and hold all applause until all names have been called. Dwayne Sears. W. Lee Bridgewater. Willie Deaton. Bobby G. Murphy. Richard Horde. Clay Bowling. E.J. Trial. Rick Skull. Ned Smith. Hobsob Andrews. Mountie Mont. Max Huckleberry. Donald Cass. Bill Kendall. Denver Bowling. Dewey Smith. Mike Fitzgerald is here for John W. Fitzgerald. Mark Lewis. Don Davidson. Virgil Barrett. Lloyd Meeks. Delbert Meeks. John L. Kivenemy. Larry Meeks. Thomas E. Meeks. Kenneth Burns. Nick Pastrick. David Coomer. Bill J. Dunn. Fred Riley. Richard Lowe. Philip Eggleston. Samuel Hammonds. Maryland Ousley. Michael Durham. James E.C. Fields. Jackie Dale Hanner. Johnny White. Mariel Cole. James R. Jones. Brittany Alcorn is representing Kenneth Alcorn, Russell Alcorn, and Warnell Alcorn. And finally, John Der Arkelian. I'm sorry. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to our Veterans Day program. My name is Recruit Cody Howard of the United States Marine Corps, and with me is Heather Barrett. Today we would like to honor our Marines, present and future. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, they fight their country's battles on the air, on land, and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep their honor clean. And in the end, all gave some, and some gave all, to be called United States Marines. On the furthest corners of our earth, our Marines have fought. They have shed their tears, their sweat, and their blood together, where no other men dare to stand. They brave the dark fearlessly, and are proud to hold the torch for all to follow. They are the forefront, the shining tip of the spear, and the boldest of men. They have been called leathernecks, and they have been called devil dogs, but above all, they are proud to be called Marines. Founded in 1775 in the Tun Tavern, but with no permanent flag, the Marine Corps has flown under many colors. The present and permanent flag has been flying over the Corps been flying over every Naval and Marine Corps base over the face of the planet since its adoption in 1939. It is laden with a brilliant scarlet background, its trim laced with gold fringe. In the center of the flag is the Marine Corps emblem, which depicts the eagle standing proudly upon the globe, guarding and protecting it. The globe symbolizes the Marine Corps' ability to be anywhere on the planet in a short amount of time. The eagle represents the Marines and their trim, proper outlook, lined with pride and confidence. In its mouth flies a banner with the Marine Corps motto written boldly upon it, Semper Fidelis. In Latin, this means always faithful, and it represents the outlook of the Marine Corps. The Marines, they are always willing to serve our country, and they guard the embassies, they guard the Capitol. They have been on combat missions in every continent over the planet and are deployed to many locations from Haiti to Afghanistan, from Korea to Japan. Wherever their country needs them to be, our Marines are there. They are and always will be the guardians of the United States, its interests, its honors, and most importantly, its people.
I will now announce the names of the veterans of the United States Marine Corps who have attended today's program. When I call your name, please stand up and hold all applause until the last person is called. Kenneth A. Stepp. Billy Turner. Larry W. Stidham. David East. Stephen Burns. Oscar Moody. David J. Daraculin. Thank you. You may be seated.
Hello, my name is Heather Taylor, and I'm here to introduce the Navy. America was founded on the principles of courage, fairness, and equality. For over 200 years, America's Navy has instilled just that. The Navy is the most versatile, largest, and most capable section of the armed forces. Not only do they deal with sea, but they also take on land and air. The status and strength that lies in any nation can be measured by the will and might of its Navy. As this was true 200 years ago, it is still true to this day. The Navy's mission is to serve as a guardian for America's freedom, defend the life we know, support the cause of liberty abroad, and promote peace for all humanity. The veterans that are here today have done just that. Even though this mission will never be completed, we can feel safe in our hearts that those brave men and women have successfully strengthened our freedom. Excuse me. Since its birth on October 13, 1775, the Navy has been involved with more than 10 major wars and countless battles in the effort to bring security, democracy, and prosperity to the American people and to the international community. From the high seas crusades against the tyranny of the British Navy to the fight for Cuba's independence from Spain, American sailors and officers have shown their bravery for more than 230 years. I would like to commemorate these brave veterans for everything they have done for us, and I hope you know that your bravery means so much to us. When I call your name, please stand and hold all applause until the end. James Turner. Robert Craig. Bob Hubbard. Richard Woods. Robert Lester. Willie Ray Wooten. Michael Thompson. Edward Henry. Don Buchanan. Gordon Julian. And Don Kane. Thank you so very much.
Good afternoon, I'm Danny Adams. I'm here to talk about the Air Force. On August 1st, 1907, a small aeronautical division was formed by the U.S. Army Signal Corps for the purpose of taking charge of all matters pertaining to military ballooning, air machines, and kindred subjects. This division was made up of 8 balloons and, as far as a few months later, a small airship. Shortly after the beginning of World War I, President Woodrow Wilson changed the Aviation Division under the Signal Corps to 2 agencies under the Secretary of War. On May 24, 1918, the department officially recognizes these agencies as the Air Service of the U.S. Army. By the end of World War II, the U.S. Air Force had become its own independent military organization. Today, we pay tribute to all veterans, and I'm proud and honored to introduce you the veterans of the U.S. Air Force. Please rise when I call your name and hold all applause until the end. Wayne McLean. Grandpa Raymond Adams. Willie Deaton. Tracy Spencer. Tom McCandless. Ron Martin. John P. Davis. Bob McQuarrie. Dennis Barrett. Tom Sexton. Monty Williams. Chandler Bowman, Civil Air Patrol. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha Noble, and on this special day, I'm going to introduce to you the Coast Guard. First, I would like to thank everyone who came to honor the veterans today. The Coast Guard is one of the oldest organizations in the federal government, dating back to August 4th, 1790, and that's when the Revenue Cutter Service, Life Saving Service, Bureau of Navigation, and the Steamboat Inspection Service all came together to form one very strong organization, the Coast Guard. Some of the duties that they performed were to prevent smuggling to the colonies, prevent trade laws, to enforce those laws, ensure tariffs, and to stop people from stealing ships. During World War II, the biggest duty that the Coast Guard had was to intercept contraband, and after the war, it was to aid navigation. The Coast Guard describes itself as a multi-military mission, service within the Department of Homeland Security. Their motto was Semper Paratus, which means always ready, and that's exactly what they were. Their flag was created for the ensign of the original. The emblem is a blue eagle for the coat of arms of the United States on a white background. And an eagle is below the words United States Coast Guard, and below the eagle is the motto and date where the Coast Guard was first established. The Coast Guard's values are values that not only should every branch have, but every person as well. They respect honor and devotion. There are no Coast Guards here today, but we all keep them in our thoughts. And in closing, try to keep the Coast Guard in your thoughts not only today, but every day. And as a citizen, it's our duty to honor them as they do us. Again, thank you all for coming, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the program Austin High School has for you today.
Hello, my name is Ryan Green, and I'd like to thank everyone for attending this year's Veteran Day program. The National Guard will celebrate its 374th birthday on December 13th, making it the oldest component of the armed forces in the United States. The National Guard consists of the active Army, the Army National Guard, and the Army Reserves. These members are primarily composed of traditional guardmen, which are civilians who serve the country, state, and community on a part-time basis. Without these brave volunteers, we would not be the strong nation we are today. The Guard has served in every major battle since its founding. It is most recently been activated to fight the war on terror in the Middle East. Not only do they protect our freedom abroad, they also assist our country in time of need, the most recent being the oil spill in the Gulf. There are currently 467,000 troops in the National Guard, the motto being always ready, always there. We can count on the National Guard members to protect our freedom. Now I'd like to introduce the veterans and all those that are currently listed in the United States National Guard. Please stand when I say your name and hold all applause until all members have been introduced. Jim Day. Walter Green. John Smith. Jerry Wooten. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica
Hot water
Campbell.
antibacterial soap and top-of-the-line chemical.
Let's try this again. My name is Erica Campbell, and I would like to thank you for being here today and attending this year's Veterans Day program at Austin High School. Up next, we have a very special woman here at Austin High School who poured her heart and appreciation into the song you're about to hear. Yulita Turner, our very own English teacher, wrote this song to her father, who served in the Korean War as an Army corporal. Her father did not say much about the war, but from what he did say, she understood the sacrifices the men and women gave our country for us to be free today. Miss Turner did a lot of research of the vital battles before writing the song. She wrote the lyrics and recorded it at home. Miss Turner is very honored to perform her song for the veterans each day. In her own words, no song could truly pay adequate tribute to these brave men and women, our defenders of freedom. Thank you.
You know, I'm never more proud to be an American than I am on this day, because, you know, today I find, you know, I'm so proud of our students who hold proper reverence and respect and feel that reverence and respect as well. I'm proud to be in the presence of courage today. I'm awed and humbled. And I'm proud of my father, for whom I wrote this song. Daddy, would you stand up, please? This is my dad. He served in Korea. And I'm proud to be able to sing this for you today. Shining rows of white stones glisten in the sun. They sacrificed at Normandy, Heartbreak Ridge, Iraq, Saigon, heroes of their Constitution's truth. In quiet honor now they lie, though on foreign fields they died, and the flag still flies. Defenders of freedom, defenders of the flag, fighting for the right to worship and believe, the right to realize our dreams, defenders of the flag. Two black granite walls attest to the courage of the brave, the best, who fought for freedom's liberty. To agree or disagree, believers in their Constitution's truth. And unsung heroes live today, from Flanders fields to the sands of Kuwait. This land of the free is still home of the brave. It's still home of the brave. Defenders of freedom. Defenders of the flag. Fighting for the right to worship and believe, the right to realize our dreams. Defenders of the flag. From the fall of Crispus Attucks, bitter cold at Valley Forge, where the boots rotted from their feet and hunger became their war. From Iwo Jima's immortal flag to the scream of F-16s, thundering over desert sands in defense of a liberty. Defenders of freedom. Defenders of the flag. Fighting for the right to worship and believe, the right to realize our dreams. Defenders of the flag. Defenders of freedom. Defenders of the flag. Fighting for the right to worship and believe, the right to realize our dreams, the right to life and liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and peace. Defenders of the flag. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I am Brooke Stallings.
And I am Ashley Marshall.
We are here with you today to honor the POWs and MIAs of our great nation. The sacrifices made by these brave, courageous people have forever made an impact on all of our lives. 39 years ago, Mrs. Michael Hoff, as the wife of an MIA and member of the National League of POW MIA Families, saw the need for a symbol of recognition for those POWs and MIAs. Mrs. Hoff decided to contact the Vice President of Ann & Company, Norman Rivkees. The job of Ann & Company was to provide flags to all the states of the United Nations. Mrs. Hoff contacted this company in request of a POW MIA flag. Along with the Annans Advertising Agency, Mr. Rivkees said that a flag would be produced to honor the missing men and women. After being approved by the League, flags were sent to be manufactured. In 1989, the official flag was installed after legislation approved. To demonstrate support, both houses boosted the ceremony for its installation.
The POW MIA flag is black. In the center is the black and white emblem of the League. The emblem is a white disc bearing a black silhouette, the bust of a man, a watchtower where a guard holds his rifle, and a strand of barbed wire. POW MIA is written above the disc in white letters, framing a white pointed star. Below the disc is a black and white wreath. Below the wreath is a statement, "You are not forgotten." There are 7 days that the POW MIA flag is flown. Those days include Armed Forces Day, National POW MIA Recognition Day, Memorial Day, Flag Day, Independence, and Veterans Day.
As we stand here today, we honor those who have suffered from all of the hardships of war, and we specifically remember those POWs and MIAs. The words presented on the flag still ring true today. You are not forgotten.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samantha Wooten, and I would once again like to thank you for attending our Veterans Day program this year. Today, I have been given the great privilege to speak before you about all the sacrifices and heartache you men and women of Scott County have experienced. Scott County may be a very small community compared to others, but the number of veterans served to protect our country is outrageous. From the beaches of Normandy to the deserts of Iraq, our veterans of Scott County have made a big difference in our major conflicts around the world. When realizing all the things that you men and women have done to protect our country, the only word that comes to my mind is hero. The definition of hero from Webster's dictionary is a man or woman of distinguished courage or ability, admired for his or her brave deeds and noble qualities. You came to our country's side when they needed help. You put your life on hold and you left your families. You missed Christmases, births of your children, and Little League games because you were protecting your country. The sacrifice, dedication, and courage assures us that we are safe citizens of the United States. I cannot even imagine, and that is why words alone cannot express how much appreciation and respect I have for each and every one of you. Today we honor all Scott County veterans who have valiantly served our country. Our community is more than grateful to have people like you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment.
Hello, my name is Samantha Barrett. The Austin High School Band and I want to thank all the veterans and those currently serving for their time and dedication to this great nation. Thank you for your service. We will be playing God Bless the USA, arranged by Michael Sweeney, words and music by Lee Greenwood.
Good afternoon. My name is Chase Didham, and today I'd like to share with you the rededication to freedom. I'd like to start out by giving you this quote from one of the great American presidents, John F. Kennedy. He once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country." Many have answered to this calling, and this day is for those people. I wish to take this moment among all of you to reflect upon our freedom and what it means to us. For over 200 years, Americans like the ones among us today has done what it takes to serve our country and keep us free. America has known a spot of uncertainty and relentless conquest. Dark shadows can loom over us to make sure that tranquility is not held. So many have lost their lives to protect us today. We honor those fallen heroes, but our job is ongoing. From Pearl Harbor to infamous 9/11, the United States has known the face of terrorism. For those American heroes out there that face their own uncertainty, and in order to keep us safe and free, we keep them in our prayers and hope that they can make it home one day safe. We will now play a video that was created by the telecommunication class of 2003, and we hope that you enjoy it, and thanks for coming out today. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Logan Barrett, and I would like to thank you on behalf of every American citizen for what you've done for each and every one of us. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to please rise and join me in a moment of silence as we remember and pay our respects to all those who have fought for our freedom and right to be here today. Following the silence, please remain standing for a prayer delivered by high school senior Danelle Spicer.
Dear Lord, today is the day we have come together to honor our veterans and current men and women fighting for our country. Men and women who were selfless enough to fight for our freedom, to serve and protect our country, to preserve our safety, our freedoms, and our country's heritage. Please bless them for the hardships they have faced and the sacrifices they have made. We thank them, we respect them, and we honor them. We are proud of them. We pray that you will watch over them and bless them with happiness and peace. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Matthew Durham. On behalf of the senior class and myself, I would like to thank you for your service and part you played in protecting this great country. I'll be introducing the melody known as taps. Taps is often referred to as the 24 notes that tap deep emotions. It is played at special events such as this and at burial ceremonies. The first use of taps was at a funeral during the Peninsular Campaign in Virginia during the Civil War. Captain John C. Tidbald of Battery A, 2nd Artillery, ordered it to be played for the burial of a cannoneer killed in action. Since the enemy was close, he worried that traditional 3 volleys would renew fighting. By the end of the war, both sides were using the call, and later it was officially adopted by the United States military and armed forces. Personally, I have heard the bugle call played many times, and every single note settles in the heart. It is a common custom that servicemen and women present arms, and others not in uniform place their hand over their heart. Taps will be played by Austin High School senior Brandon Mullins, accompanied by junior Joe Wooten. I would ask you to please rise. Men in uniform, please present arms. Thank you. You may be seated.
Hello, my name is Leah Brown. On behalf of Mr. Harold and the class of 2011, I would like to personally thank each of you for attending today's program. We would also like to thank Mr. Harold for his hard work, dedication, and his endless support in preparing for today's program. While it is important to thank all of those involved in making today possible, it is more important that we thank each and every veteran of America. Without the services of men and women of America's armed forces, we would not be where we are today. Freedom is a word that should never be taken for granted, for it was the sacrifice of men and women like yourselves who made it possible for my generation to have the freedoms that we have. I cannot find the words to express the gratitude that I feel toward any veteran of America. Soldiers who were and are willing to leave their families behind and travel across the world to preserve our freedoms deserve the utmost respect and admiration, and you have mine. You are the real heroes of America, and that will never be forgotten. We are privileged today, as Austin High School, to devote our day to honoring you and your sacrifice. At this time, we'd like to invite all veterans, family, and friends to the high school library for lunch. This concludes our program, and once again, thank you.